is having Vietnamese food again, the shocker. You had banh mi last week, beef on Tuesday, pork on Wednesday. Hashtag boring, predictable. Oh, wait a minute, what is this? Oh, this is the moment I've been waiting for. Oh, prepare thyself, box score Billy 44. Satan's pictures, just a bunch of pictures of tattoos. Skip. Polly's barbecue and more barbecue. Skip. McLovin, it's just a bunch of pictures of him ready to play basketball in the park. Skip. I mean, I really thought there'd be something juicy here. Oh, wait a minute, Fritzy, there's gotta be something good in here. Let's see here. Oh, wait! No! Oh, gross!
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, we'll kick off the show with a serious topic today. Kurt Schilling tweeted out this weekend congratulating his daughter on her scholarship and received some pretty heinous tweets back. Seton, what's the meanest the Twitter sphere has ever been to you?
Today or just in general? I don't know. You usually get, it's all the same stuff, you know? Just call you mean things or tell you certain things you can go do.
Have you guys ever considered alerting authorities about specific people?
Never.
Have you gotten something that bad where you think you had to get the police involved?
No, I've considered it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I've had some people that made me a little too nervous.
I mean, I've
I
considered...
like threatening things, you know, that I'm like, ugh, this
Yeah, like...
I gotta hold on to this one.
barely. Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, but I don't know if there's any evidence that that social media can lead to actual physical violence. I hope not. But it's... And, you know, hey, let's face it. Dan gets some nasty email, too.
Never looks at them.
He never looks at him, and we never share him with him. But it's just the nature of being high profile. I mean, especially Dan. I mean, Peter King, when I worked at Sports Illustrated, he got more fan mail than anyone. He got 5 times as much hate mail as everyone, and he was the most popular writer. Yeah. You know, it's so it's part of being high profile.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game. Schilling, of course, saw those shocking tweets regarding his daughter and went dad mode to defend her honor.
My first blog was, I'm getting in my car and driving to here and I'm going to kill this guy. And I realized that probably wouldn't do much and wouldn't be received well. So I sat back and listened and watched, and at that point I started saving tweets.
What was your daughter's response?
She was devastated. I mean, this is one of the most exciting days of her life. And now she's of the mind that she may not be able to go to college there because it was guys from the school were some of the people saying stuff. And, you know,
wait,
dad,
guys
so
from the
what's my
school
first reaction?
that she's going to?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Well, they were there, actually, I should say.
They got kicked out?
Yeah. Some got suspended, some got kicked out.
Awesome. I mean, you know, once in a while, I think people need to be put in check. I know it's completely apples and oranges. When I go back to Ron Artest, having someone throw something at him and he went in the stands, it's like, oh, all of a sudden you realize, hey, there is not this barrier where I can't be touched. And I bet these kids and other people who tweeted really mean things about Kurt Schilling's daughter thought to themselves, well, it's just Twitter. I can't be touched. I bet they don't think so today. I bet when they're no longer in college or they don't have a job anymore because of their actions, not Kurt's, they probably think differently. Like once in a while, I'll be driving in traffic and someone will flip me off, and I think to myself, I go, one of these days, and I've done it once or twice, I'm gonna do something, you know, make a point, because a lot of people think there's no consequences in life for I guess jabbing someone else in a harsh way, but it looks like there are.
A lot of trolls out there, and you actually had Deadspin writer Drew McGarry on, and he talked about why some athletes actually respond to these people.
It's the nature of being competitive. They want to win. You know, that always happens with Twitter beefs. Guys want to win the argument. And there's never any resolution. Nobody ever ends up being the big man on Twitter. Like, no one's ever like, all right, you have a good point. Let's shake hands. And the problem is, I think that anytime you argue with someone online, it always ends up unresolved. And I think if you're a normal human being, having an unresolved conflict in your life can be really unsettling. It's different with Schilling because those are legitimate threats, and I understand why he did that. But, if you're just talking about straight-up beefing like the way Kaepernick and Griffin have done with people, even if you win, you don't really win by engaging.
I used to be bad.
What made you realize that you're not going to win that?
Well, I knew that it wasn't the smart thing to do. I'd eventually get fired. Plus, then people started getting, like, violent sort of, like, threats and stuff like that, and that freaked my wife out, and she was just like, one day somebody's like, you really need to chill out, okay? So I dialed that back. But now I make a joke out of it more and like laugh or like try to take all of the like power out of it. And what'll happen is actually usually you can get people to come around to your side in a way. Like I just had this one dude who was coming after me about some nonsense. And an hour or two later, he was apologizing and like, hey, I'm really sorry. It's completely inappropriate of me. I just got caught up or whatever and all this stuff. And so it's kind of like, it's a great little lame victory to be like, well, there you go. There's another one.
You took the crazy out of it.
You know what McGarry said? Like, there is really no win here. It just sort of floats out. It's not really satisfying.
Well, Fritzy, you're usually on Twitter showing off a good guest list. Do you know what your own Twitter handle is?
It's at Brooklyn Fritzy. I'm not on Twitter very much. I do read what what people say. I've retweeted things. I mainly use it to, that's true, to update the guest list. But I'll follow some of the actresses that I think are very attractive, and hopefully not in a stalking way, but just curious to see what Jacqueline Smith and Kathy Ireland may be tweeting.
Do you ever think you should?
Susan Lucci's up to?
Do you ever think to maybe mix in a journalist or a sports commentator or a male just to mix it up to make your Twitter follows look normal?
I guess, just in case the police do a little check.
Like throw Adam Schefter in there, maybe like Chris Mortensen.
It just ruins the mood. I'm like, I got Camille Luddington from Grey's Anatomy,
and clogging up your feed.
And there's Chrissy Teigen and Brooklyn.
It's not like you work. Oh, you do work in sports. I mean, it'd be cool to have like sports input.
I know, but then it just I'm like, I'm reading all these things from these women that I like, and then all of a sudden it's like Winston may not go 1, he may go 4, and then
by the way,
Jets may
how
trade
many
off.
followers you have?
I mean, I love sports, but we all need a break from that. I get plenty of it all day and what we follow at night. But seeing what someone in the Sacramento Bee thinks the Kings should trade.
Well, you don't have to go that extreme, but you could maybe just some sports.
Yeah, it's kind of what you do for. It's kind of what our show is.
Exactly the way it is. You don't need to. You don't really need Twitter.
No, I think there's plenty. I may get it in 2 seconds after you guys, but there's plenty of websites. I have many ways I will eventually, through SportsCenter or many other ways, to find out what the latest sports news is without some writer or columnist saying, I think he's getting traded soon.
Great. Just denounce the whole industry I've worked in for 30 years.
By the way, you got 75,000 followers for nothing. I don't understand it.
Twitter
for nothing. I don't know how so many people follow you.
I'm nothing against journalists, writers, columnists. I respect them all. We have a lot of them on the show every day. But do I need that tweet like 4 seconds before all the other websites are going to get it that this one just got sent down to the minors? Oh my God!
Yeah. You don't think it would help you do your job better to follow more sports people?
During the show, but you guys are on it constantly. If there was something that immediate that I need to know, I know I can count on you guys to bring it to my attention, or I'll find out about it. Maybe not at that second. I may catch it a couple of minutes later. But I think it would be helpful during the live show when we may want to react to something that's breaking at that moment.
That's only 3 hours out of it.
Yeah, right. Drag some of these pictures off your Twitter feed and see what we got. Coming up, McLovin takes no prisoners and fires some tough questions at a college hoop star. This is the Box Score, and it is powered by Ram 1500 EcoDiesel. Every truck can tow a boat, every truck can climb a hill, every truck can haul a trailer, but not everybody has the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. That's ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram.
McLovin takes nerd to a whole new level, and I know nerds. You're watching The Box Score on Audience, DirecTV, Channel 239.
We are back here on The Box Score as Jim Parsons' infinite wisdom. Seton, if Sheldon and McLovin were to have a nerd cathlon, who's reigning supreme in that situation?
Well, I hate to do this to you, Andrew, but I think not only Sheldon, but I think Jim Parsons, the real person, would destroy you in a nerd cathlon.
Meaning he's nerdier than me?
Well, I don't. Are there 10 different events that determine nerdiness, or
Jim
is
Parsons,
it general knowledge?
Whoa. Because Jim Parsons, the person, is way cooler
What's
than
the
I
one
am.
characteristic of nerdiness? What's the one? What is it looks? Because I think you look nerdier than him, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, he's like the coolest guy
He doesn't
in the
actually
world.
look very nerdy.
No.
That's true. He looks actually.
What's nerdy about
cool.
Jim Parsons, the actor? There's nothing nerdy about him. Not a single thing.
I'm just saying that I think he's really smart, and that if there was some type of smart off.
See, why makes you think he's smart?
I think Jim's very polite, but he even said to us he's not very smart. He wasn't a good student.
Which is the smartest thing to do. Is say you're not
Downplay
very.
it.
He's downplaying
You
it,
upplay
guys.
your smartness.
You
Now-
upplay your smartness.
Yeah, you can't win upplaying.
Honestly, if you're going to look at like what's the key difference between me and Jim Parsons, I think talent is where I would start. That's where we diverge
Bank
a little bit.
accounts.
Two roads.
Success.
He's extremely talented and rich and successful.
Other than that, you can't tell the difference. You're both tall,
He's
Handsome height.
rangy.
Yeah, both rangy. Well, Wisconsin basketball star Frank Kaminsky called in, and McLovin got his nerd flow on,
Speaking
Game
of
of Thrones style.
Well, let's start. How many dragons does Daenerys have?
3.
Okay. How many children did Tywin Lannister have?
3.
He's good, Dan. He's good.
All right, give him one more here.
Who is the head of the House of Dorne?
Oh, jeez.
You know what? That might be a book. I can't tell. I know the book so well. That might be a book. Tune in for season 4 on April 12th.
Was that a trick question there for Frank?
Kind of.
No.
First 2 questions you did.
That's not. You guys are giving me a hard time now.
Okay, explain. You got something wrong there, factually wrong.
I think so. Okay, so Dorne is a peninsula at the southern end of Westeros. It's kind of like it's very sandy.
There's all
Florida?
Game of Thrones info.
Is it
right?
like Florida?
Yeah, no. It's more like the Baja Peninsula of Mexico. It's very sandy.
Tallahassee.
Anyway, the House Martell rules Dorne. Dorne Martell.
I mean, for you to get something about House of Thrones, Game of Thrones, whatever it's called, wrong on national TV is like Seton getting something wrong about.
Like if I said Joe Strummer was a member of the Sex Pistols.
Right.
And you're like, wait, no, that's not right at all. Like your Game of Thrones cred right now is just.
Was it accurate according to the
in the
book, or it was
toilet.
just wrong on all levels? It wasn't a book versus movie mistake. You
No,
just misspoke.
we should probably. I think some people could refer to it as the House of Dorne.
It's like Fritzy not knowing the Cinemax nightly schedule.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
it's true.
Here's the thing. Why
Jenna
did
Jameson was in Busted
Nobody
Cops
wanted to
5. No,
mention
she
to me
wasn't.
before.
Co-ed confidential.
No, somebody must have thought of this. That hey, McLovin's going to give Kaminsky a Game of Thrones quiz.
I thought
Nobody
that you put Dan up to it.
Why would Dan? Like, no one's going to tell me to prepare
You
questions.
started off nicely. You gave like
Yeah.
how many dragons is this one?
But you know
on?
what happened was he was answering it so quickly. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's a Game of Thrones genius. I have to throw him off with something. He was too good.
I thought you were gonna do the quiz in like a native language of.
How's that go?
Gory.
Dothraki.
Dothraki.
He does
Some
the
kind of
noise.
Elvish.
He does.
Knick knack doo-doo.
Why do you encourage it?
I just find it very funny.
Why do you
He starts
encourage it?
talking
That
about
was Knick knack
Cyclops
doo-doo
and
says,
what are those?
watch out for the gargoyle.
When he does that, the gargoyle, he makes up his own language. I just find it very funny.
What did the wizard
you're
say to
getting
the gargoyle? Knick knack
It's-
doo-doo.
I don't watch it at all, but his version of it sounds very amusing to me.
He's getting mad. He's getting mad.
It is.
You know there's nudity.
I know.
There's a lot of
I know.
nudity.
That-
You should
that
be
part I
watching.
missed. That
You
part-
should be on my side.
I'm
for
disappointed that I missed that part.
I'm gonna get you, Steve O'Connor.
Busted Cops 4.
I will ask the next question in Klingon. No, I'm sorry. Fritzy, I'm just assuming you aren't a Game of Thrones guy. What is your favorite TV show of all time? A box score excluded, of course.
You love Thrones, though.
I do like Thrones. I do spend a lot of time on Thrones. I really used to like the Honeymooners growing up. But if I had to pick one all-time show that every time I loved, I'm going to say The Twilight Zone. I thought that was amazing. And you've done a very excellent rendition of Rod Serling. So I appreciate that when we've done those Twilight Zone bits, I can really relate to that because I just found that to be way ahead. So many movies and horror flicks are totally stole from
Quick
Rod
question:
Serling.
Are you 84 years old? Are you my Aunt
really
Estelle
loved I
from
Love
Elkins
Lucy.
Park? I Love Lucy, dude.
I would watch the Odd Couple, the Honeymooners, Star Trek, and the Twilight Zone would be on a channel in New York.
Yeah, but that was a long time
That was
ago.
from 11
No
to
shows.
1:30
Okay, how about in the
No
past,
shows?
How about the past 15 years? What's your best
I like
television
Seinfeld
series?
and Friends
No.
and things
In the
like
past
that.
15 years.
Yeah.
15 years. It doesn't include Seinfeld. What's your favorite TV show in the past 15 years? Prime time, or on cable?
I'm going to say Law and Order SVU.
Have you watched House of Cards?
I've seen bits and pieces of it because
That
my
means
wife
no.
watches
Sopranos?
it. I have watched bits and pieces.
Sopranos?
Yeah, I was definitely Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't like a crazy Sopranos fan. I watched.
Well, you either watch it or you don't.
Yeah, I watched many episodes of it. But if I missed one and someone filled me in, I wouldn't be heartbroken. Oh my God, I have to watch every second of The Sopranos. I wasn't like fanatical like that, or I have to get the poster or anything like that, or get
Black
something
is the New
framed.
Orange?
I have seen that. That's the with the women in prison thing.
Of course he's seen that.
that.
Of course he's seen
Yeah,
that.
but like,
prison.
yeah, but there's some things they show in that doesn't turn me on.
Doesn't
like,
do
at
it for
all.
you?
No.
Right. You don't care that they're in prison, just not the right shots of them in prison.
Yeah, it's just they need some more attractive women on that show for me
It's
to
not
really
going to make it on his
get
Twitter
all
feed. Don't
into
go
it.
away. We're giving up sports for the big screen. Welcome back to the Box Score. You guys may feel that you have nothing in common, but you actually all do. You're all Howie Longs. You're athletes turned actors. He won the Super Bowl, and then he went on to star in the mega hit Firestorm. Seton, you were an all-star in the South Amboy Little League. Paulie, of course, lost a match 15-0 in 6th grade in a wrestling match. Fritzy, you struck out 18 batters before actually losing that game. And, of course, McLovin, an MVP.
And hit a two-run homer in that game.
Yeah, and a JCC All-Star in the Little League. But it's an exclusive club, so I want to see if you guys know the other members in this club that were all athletes and then became actors. I'm going to give you the actor's name. You tell me what sport they played. This is row versus row, and there are no steelsies here. This first one is for the front row.
Brock, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Why no steals? Why the no steals policy?
What do you have against steals, Brock?
You know what? Steal away. Just like Robbie
Way to run
Dupree.
things. Love it.
Okay, front row, this one is for you. George
like it's like- hold on, I
Clooney,
gotta
what
check the
sport did he
producer.
play prior to becoming
He was
Super Dreamboy?
oh boy. It's a base, right?
What else could
baseball.
it be? What else could it be with George Clooney?
Yeah, well, I mean, you would think a guy like George Clooney would be like the starting quarterback or something, but because it's like actor or whatever. I'm gonna say baseball. I'm pretty sure it's baseball.
Remember in the movie?
Remember him
that
and
one-
Dan talked about trying, and Dan tried out for that thing?
Baseball.
It is absolutely baseball. He tried out for the Reds after high school, so no steals in this situation. They got it right. Back row, it's Paulie's boy. It's Jason Statham. What sport was he associated with?
Ooh, this is
Okay,
sneaky.
so we know
This is sneaky.
he's from the British Isles, so it's...
So it's got to be motocross.
Can I get a new row partner? Just temporarily? Is there somebody in the back who can sit on
It's
it?
got to be some kind of dirt bike event.
Soccer, rugby, cricket.
Rugby's really...
Dude, he looks like a rugby player. So are we going with football, as in European football?
Yeah, was
or
he more
rugby?
likely to be a soccer player, though? Like,
Soccer,
rugby
rugby.
and cricket seems like a very narrow, even though I understand the British connection. What do you feel strongly about?
Soccer.
Okay.
Soccer.
We're going to say he was a soccer player.
All right, that's incorrect. Paulie, you want to hazard a guess?
I'm not a good teammate.
British.
My
Very
team never
British.
wins.
Look at the guy. It's all
No,
chiseled.
I know the
Upset
answer
if
for
it's
this, and
rugby.
it's not. Oh,
It's not
man.
rugby?
No.
God, I pray it's a
Rugby.
motor.
This is.
Imagine if it was motocross. That would be amazing. Basketball?
Hurry up, guys.
No,
Time's ticking on this one.
We'll go rugby, but I think we're wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong. It was diving. He actually dove for the national diving squad.
Yes, I knew that.
Diving.
To the
What?
front row.
That's
This
not a
might be
sport.
pretty easy.
It's a way to jump in the
He's the
pool.
host of The Soup, Joe McHale.
Wow.
Joe McHale. I would guess lawn
Darts, croquet.
croquet. He looks like a croquet guy. Is he?
I would say he's a
Hockey?
basketball player. Where's he
McHale?
from?
He
Is
could
he
be northern.
Canadian?
I can see him on a
He looks a little Canadian.
He looks Canadian.
Let's work this out. Not curling.
Hockey. Let's
Hockey.
go hockey.
We'll go hockey.
Wrong. Back row, you got a guess?
What do you
God, I
think?
liked hockey. That was a great guess.
I thought he was like some
We're
kind of
standing by that.
sailboat
Yeah.
boatsman.
Is he a sailor?
He's a yachting
I think
enthusiast.
he's a yachting
All
boatsman.
right,
Salesman?
We're going to go with yachting.
Yes, he was actually on
Sailboat
America's
guy.
Cup 3. No, that's Dennis Conner. No, it was football, guys. Football. He played for the Huskies. Washington Huskies.
I don't think so.
That guy's way too soft.
What about
Is
the
it a punter?
Daily Show, Jon Stewart for the back row?
I know that.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. He's soccer.
Mathletes?
All right, let's for
Soccer.
us. All right,
I
you
just
feel
figured
strongly about soccer.
Or
Yeah, he said
football,
the
as you would
GCC
say.
guy.
Yeah, I played for William and Mary. Well done.
Nice. Did
Both
not
of them?
know that.
Last one is for the front row. I believe you mentioned him earlier. His name is Earl. Just kidding. It's what about Jason Lee?
That's ridiculous.
Come on, I used to ride a skateboard. Yeah.
Jason Lee skateboarder.
Blind.
Yeah, darn tootin'. Pro skateboarder, co-founded
guys know
Stereo
that?
Skateboards. I got one more. Back row.
get
Edward
out
Norton, his sport.
That's a guy who's got.
I thought this category was going to be
all
like
over him.
Dean Cain and The Rock, and was
Well,
going
I'll
to be
tell you what, we saw him in American History X, so we know it's definitely not basketball.
What are you talking about? He dunked on a guy. He dunked like jumped 7 feet in the air.
Curb stomping down a sport.
So this is definitely something soft like
Harrelson.
tennis.
Is it a tennis sport?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a real sport.
He's got.
I've seen the guy move. He's
Okay, we're going to say
terrible
Edward
athlete.
Norton plays ping pong standing on the table.
Oh, wait, he was a long distance runner, too.
Oh,
that's a good guess.
Snap,
Gotta go long
Andrew
distance.
McLovin.
But that might have just been for a movie. But let's go with long distance runner. Cross
Cross
country.
country, long distance.
Not a long distance
jogging.
guy. Front row, it is a sort of a non-sport. Do you have a guess?
Well, lacrosse is definitely a sport. That's not a non-sport.
Technically a sport.
What is a non-sport? Like bowling?
I'm thinking of all the George Carlin list
Rob
of
Lowe
non-sports.
started a movie about this.
Lacrosse.
Let's stay with lacrosse. Let's stay with lacrosse.
Go with lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
I'm sorry, the sport we were looking for was rowing. Rowing. He was on the crew team at Yale.
Rowing.
The we row
I told you it was
is
something totally
the
soft.
front row, so congratulations. All right, stick around. I'm making the Danettes
we got a couple.
rich. This is the box score, and we are taking a break to remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, doesn't need one. Guts, glory, Ram. Well, welcome back to the box score. We are closing up shop here. Guys, Forbes had a report that Michael Jordan has finally become a billionaire. Congratulations, buddy. Joined the club. And to celebrate this, he is actually putting a golf course in his backyard. The only way to celebrate being a billionaire. Now, this is what we're going to do, guys. I am gifting you $20 million of my own money to buy one of two things, and I'll give you a choice. Paulie, this one's for you. You can only buy one, a super yacht or a lodge-style log cabin.
Well, that's a good question. Now,
So it's like Paul Allen or Tony Stewart, kind of.
you know, let me ask you, Brock, with the $20 million you give me for the yacht, do I get a crew with that? Can I hire a crew?
Yes, and you can get them from the
Yes.
Bravo show.
Okay, I think I would like, you know, as much as I like cabins and stuff like that, I think I would take the yacht. You could travel all over the world. You have a crew taking care of you. Yeah, I'm going yacht.
All right, Steve, this question is for you. Would you rather have a record company or a concert venue?
Wow. You've basically ensured that I'm definitely losing my $20 million with either of those options. 'Cause they're both pretty much the worst businesses in the world to get into. Jeepers creepers. I want to say a record company. I would own a record company instead, because then you could, like, you just kind of, your job is going to listen to new music. So that's pretty cool. I would do that.
McLovin, how about
And I would
this?
be right back here.
Insider info to every NFL team, or you could purchase every other team from every other sport.
So I could purchase a bunch of teams.
Or
For $20 million?
For 20 mil, that's a hell of a
insider
deal.
info from all the NFL teams, or purchase a bunch of other teams. Like the Royals.
So I could be Chris Mortensen or Mark Cuban.
Seems pretty easy.
I'm gonna take Cubans.
Oh, we got one here for you, Fritzy. You can buy a lifetime pass to Jamaica's Camp
Jergens?
Hedonism 2, or 3 years of season tickets to the Broncos.
Or what about these? How about this? You get to host the AVN Awards every year.
Wow.
Or you can own Jergens Lotion Company.
Oh.
Both, those would be
Can't
both.
get high off your own supply with the Jergens,
But
pal.
there's many different types of lubrication.
You pick your choice. I mean, I'm not holding it to one.
I would like
I've
to be.
always dreamt of being in lubrication.
Yeah, I would like to. You said host the AVN.
Host, or maybe how about this? You could be, you could own Vivid Video.
Oh,
Or you could own.
What about that Seymour Butts guy? Did you throw that in? Doesn't he
He would
Once
direct
again,
all
can I
of
get a
your-
new road partner? Or at least sit somewhere different on the box score. I have to be
Hosting
next
the
to them.
AVN Awards would be so
Hosting
rad.
the AVN and collecting all the trophies with who knows what they do with the poses of those like people that usually it's a baseball player. I'm going to host the AVN Awards. I think that would be a good time. The after party alone would be worth the price.
Buddy,
of
hook up the
Hey,
plus
can
one.
I ask you something in
Dude, you
all
touched his
seriousness?
hand.
I'm going to ask you a serious question.
Go ahead.
I got a guy. If I
You have a guy.
got you where you could present at the AVN Awards, like here's Todd Fritz with the award for best whatever scene.
And DirecTV would be behind it, and this show would be behind it.
No, then you do it on your own.
Right, but I'm saying I wouldn't get it. It wouldn't reflect me or the show or the company in a negative light.
Nothing more than anything you said on the air over the past 6
And I could
7 years.
present an award for like best whatever like.
Would you
scene.
like to do that?
That's something I think that would be a very cool experience.
Thank you.
So great.
That's in Vegas, right?
Yes.
Go spend the weekend in
You're gonna
Vegas and
find
give
out.
out awards to some of the very questionable behavior awards.
It's the same weekend as the Consumer
That'll be a
Electronics
great time.
Show.
Questionable behavior.
All right,
I can't believe I
Seymour
didn't do
Butts,
that
who
to
is
you.
on tomorrow, please?
We've got the NFL director of. I can't get this out.
What is this on me right now?
I'm like so distracted. NFL director of football operations, Matt Burke, former Ravens and Vikings center, and Rich Eisen will join us as well. And now I'm going to spend some time thinking about giving out pornographic awards.
Yay! All right, thanks, guys. We are back tomorrow on Audience Channel 239 right here on DirecTV. The podcast is available also on iTunes or at podcast1.com. Take care.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!